Good morning, everybody, and happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday all day. I don't know why it feels like it's like later in the week, but it is Tuesday all day long. If you're with me in the Discord or in the YouTube chat, go ahead and say what's up. Let's see who's with us this morning. We have, oh my goodness, we got some active people in here this morning. We got RCSW, Shelly, Vibe Trade, John, Chris, WD, Butters, Kofifi, Black Lung, Amateur Genius, Cicino, JQ, Kelvin, Cyrus, Dust, Vibe Trade, Luke, Ethan, Session Flow, Blissfully Dissatisfied, JQ, Fran, Gold Chest, Sunny Dude, Fat Citizen, Valentine, T-Tix, Dragon Spec, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Trader Slava. Good morning, The Beast. Good morning, Mike, Christopher. Good morning, G-Lines, Gringo El Diablo. Good morning. What's up, Luna? How you doing? Good morning, National. K-Dogger, Hindsight King, Javier, Kenya, Al, Jonas, Leo, Just Ivan, Mr. Moon, Mohammed, Bon Lee, Dawson, Sick Trades, Richard, G-Dub, Mr. Chill, Janab, Richard Whitmore, Justin Prowse, Taco Master, Ari, Todd, Alex, LPA, Bob, Fairchild. Good morning, Doug, Kenny, Inverted, Matthew, Rhino, Market, TMP3, Sully, Itai, Dan, Zysop, Will, Miguel, Prashant. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing this morning? It is, oh my God, Market's coming down. I swear, every single time we go live, Market just does these beautiful moves. SW, did you end up taking that short in the S&Ps? Please tell me you did. I think you did, right? Somebody took the short in the S&Ps. Nailed NQ. There you go. Nice work. Yeah, this is a market that's coming straight down right now. So we are on the new contract, by the way. You can see right over there on my screen. That is the code of the contract that we are trading right now. NQ designates which contract it is, in case you didn't know. NQ is the NASDAQ. H is the month. 25 is the year. And remember, when you're trading the index futures, there's only 4 contract months that you need to remember. HMUZ. HMUZ. So we just rotated out of the Z contracts, which are the Decembers. We rotated out of the Z24s. We are now in the H25s. So March 2025. Dude, this thing is just going to go without me in it. Come on. I really wanted I was about to put on a trade before I went live, and I was like, nah, I'll leave it. We're coming down to the prior 4-hour low right now. So if you haven't rotated your contract yet, I would highly recommend doing it. I think that the open interest has become a little bit satisfied here. Let's see. Open interest is, oh, wow, that was fast. The volume is almost higher in the March contracts today than it is in the December ones. Open interest, 145,000 contracts in the March, 171,000 in the December. So today's going to be the final day. If you still want to trade December for some reason, if you're crazy like that, go for it. Who am I to stop you? Let's see what happens down here at 320 if we get down here. What was the prior 4-hour low? Was 326. So let's see what happens if we actually get down there. I really want to short this thing, but I feel like I'm way too late to the party there. Yes, by the way, thank you, Shaw. If you are trading on Top Step X, this is one of the benefits, is that you never have to worry about the contract roll. They're always going to make sure that you're trading the front month of whatever the instrument is that you're trading, whether that's oil, gold, natural gas, copper, silver, platinum. I think you could trade platinum on Top Step X. Whether you're trading the Bitcoin, micro Bitcoin futures, micro Ethereum futures. What's the ratios for NQ? Yes, dude, sounds like my test yesterday. By the way, I don't know if you saw my Twitter post, but I was 3 questions away from passing my Series 3. It was just, oh man. And you know, the hardest part of that test is all of the math, right? You have to calculate, you literally have to calculate all of this stuff that, like, by the way, I don't think that anybody who's ever passed their Series 3 is whipping out a $3 Office Depot calculator that's solar powered and saying, hold on, talking to their client or whomever it is that they're servicing, and whipping out the calculator and be like, hold on, let me calculate what the gain or loss would be on this, and let me calculate what the what your margin cost would be, and etc. It's just kind of ridiculous. Oh, goodness. It's just so disappointing that I actually have to go and do it again because I passed what I consider the hard portion of the test, which is all of the math and all of the spreads and all the trading stuff. And then the regulations, which, by the way, the regulation questions, they word these in such a way that is so terribly difficult to understand what they're even trying to ask. Like, I remember one of the questions was just like, I kept on looking at it. I'm like, dude, like, I don't even know, like, which answer they're looking for in this one. What's up, Coach Hoop? How you doing, buddy? I was just like looking at this one answer had like a multiple choice of 4. Obviously, it was multiple choice. But, like, the answer was, like, 200,000 in 24 months, 100,000 in 12 months, 500,000 in 12 months, 200,000 in 12 months. I'm like, dude... It's all of those things for different portions of regulation. It's just ridiculous. And it's like, you remember all of these numbers and you try to remember like specific numbers as they relate to certain things, but it's just like, yeah, so lame. So if I would have got 3 more questions right in regulations, I would have passed. But I didn't, so I have to take it again. And I think I can take it immediately. Hopefully I can while I still have all that information still in my brain. But there might be a chance that I have to wait 30 days. I don't know. If let me know if you guys and gals see Coach J in the chat, because he would know. He aced his test on the second time around. So, yeah, this thing is ripping to the downside. Let's see what happens in the S&P. By the way, if you are on Bookmap, if you are trading with Bookmap, remember the new contract is NQH5 spot CME. Well, period, dot. I always say spot. NQH5 spot CME or ESH5.CME if you are trading. But wow, look at this roll. This is so beautiful. I can't believe that. Didn't catch any of that. 7 points there in the S&Ps. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's crazy. We are seeing NVIDIA trending to the downside here, and we are seeing a lot of these rollover. Also, by the way, if you are using TradingView, there's a handy dandy little button because somebody was like, oh, are we going for the gap fill? There's a nice little button that you can find right down here. It's next to your time, and it's this BADG button. So if you click that and it's unchecked, you'll see that we have this massive gap right here. But if you use the break adjusted button, BADG, it adjusts for the contract changes. And now look at that. Oh, we have no gap. So I always trade, or I always use the charting on TradingView with BADG selected. So you don't have to do it, but I recommend doing it. It helps a lot with balancing out your charts. So there you have it. We do have some news coming out this morning. We are still trending lower. Boy, if we break this prior 4-hour low, this thing could just smash down. Really could. Yeah, BADG. A lot of people don't know about that one. It's actually quite a nice feature that's built in there. Coach Hoop says, I also wonder if 9 straight down days in the Dow. It's so weird looking at the Dow's chart. Let's bring that up. It's like stair-stepping down nonstop. Look at this crap. I looked at this morning. Look at this. This is like, you rarely see this in the indices, or you just have something that's just like driving down on like no news. It's not like the market is crashing or something. It's just insane to see that. I saw that when we were recalculating all of the morning memo levels, which, by the way, if you didn't check, if you're in Discord, we have all of the new levels for all of the March contracts now for all of the indices. So we have the S&Ps, of course. We have the NASDAQ. And then, of course, we have the Russell and then the Dow. So we have all flavors of ice cream this morning. Hey, Rips, I pay for the DX feed on Bookmap. I don't trade through Bookmaps. Do I need the DX feed? It's costing me $200 a month. $200 a month seems insanely expensive for what you're paying. Conversely, I pay $40 a month for all of my Bookmap data because I'm only using it for futures. If you're using Bookmap for equities, you may need DX feed, right? You're paying probably for the equities feed. So if you're not using the equities on Bookmap, then do not get DX feed. Let me see, Bookmap. Let me link you the marketplace link that has the data, market data. and then Rhythmic right here. So this one is, if you want to do the CME non-pro, yep, $40 a month right here. There you go. There it is. That's on Bookmap. And there you have it. So make sure you just do CME. Don't do the CME bundle unless you're using multiple products. But if you're only trading the indexes, CME non-pro, $40 a month, done deal. And then, of course, you're going to have to pay for whatever the Bookmap subscription fee is. But it works out to be, right around $100, Any news? Yes, we do have news today, of course. We are going to have some 8:30 a.m. news that comes out. And it's kind of a mixed bag. We get Canada's CPI coming out. I'm going to get the YM off the screen here since we don't trade the Dow. But we do get Canada's CPI data. And that's going to be released alongside of the advanced retail sales for November. So we get last month's advanced retail sales, which will be interesting. Get a little temperature on the consumers for Christmas shopping, perhaps. A little Hanukkah shopping, maybe. And then we get the New York Fed Services business activity, which I don't expect to move the market all that much. I think that most people are going to be paying attention to retail sales. So we'll get that. And of course, at 8:55, everybody's favorite non-event is going to be Redbook retail sales. And then this afternoon, we get the Treasury hosting a 20-year bond auction. So those are the kind of things that I'm curious about. And then, of course, tomorrow, we are going to get the FOMC interest rate decision in the subsequent press conference with Mr. Jerome Powell. Blake says, I just got an MC yesterday, and boy, is it great to be there. Such an awesome group. Going to be binging all the webinars over the next few days. So useful. Awesome. Thank you. Glad you're enjoying it. There you go. So how did it go? I did not pass the Series 3 test. It was very, very close. All I needed was, if I would have known that I was going to be, I was pretty confident in the regulation section. By the way, so it's got a bunch of different sections that are split up. The regulation section is lumped just into one. And so I needed to get 25 questions correct. I believe it was 35. Let me see if that makes sense. 25 into 35. Yeah, it was 35 questions. I got 22 of them correct. And so that is a 62%. You need 70% to pass. So had I gotten 3 more of those questions correct, I would never have to take the Series 3 ever again. So, such a bummer. Such a bummer. There are 125 questions. They give you 2.5 hours to complete it. I took just under 2 hours to finish it. And it was because I was freaking out a lot on the math questions, because some of the calculations that they want you to do are just, there's definitely a formula to get through them, but then you're going back and double checking. And I got a decent amount of those correct. Hey, Holier, thank you very much. What is passing your Series 3 good for? It's also, it's good for a lot of different things. It opens up a lot of different opportunities. But for me personally, it's just to kind of prove to myself that I know what I'm talking about. And apparently when it comes to all of the trading stuff, I do know what I'm talking about. But when you're talking about specific regulations, the regulations are just really just memorizing things, because obviously you know about the broad scope of regulations, right? You know, all of the normal regulation things, but then the very detailed regulations are what obviously threw me off, I think. I still think getting 22 out of 35 questions is pretty dang good, given how ridiculously worded those questions are. I think that the questions are written in ways that are trying to make you fail, which I think is just silly. Just ask me straight up what you're trying to ask me, instead of using double negatives in your sentence. And it's just ridiculous. AI is pretty much obsoleted the need for memorization, this stuff, to be honest. But the thing is just the broad scope of things, right? But it's if you're signing up a client, let's just say that you're an introducing broker or something, you're signing up a client for an FCM. Well, you're not going to just kind of you're going to reference some source material to look at. I need to collect this information from this client in order to sign them up for the FCM, right? You're not going to sit there and say, let me see. I remember from the test, you give me your date of birth, you give me your marital status. Let me think here. You're going to look it up. You're going to look it up. You're going to look up what the regulations are, what's required from your client. And probably you're going to have a form that is approved by the CFTC or the NFA that is going to be able to be given to your client, like a questionnaire for your client. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of stuff is like, it's kind of silly. I don't know. It is what it is. Nothing I could do about it. But 3 questions is kind of tilting. It's better than having, I guess, missing it by 1 question. I was very close to failing the trading section as well, but I mean, I got the passing score of 70%. So looks like we are bouncing here off that prior 4-hour low, which is why I was hesitant to take a short. The market is just kind of doing its own thing, and it is rather thin as people are rolling into this contract here. Right now we are bouncing from 25, looking like a 25-point bounce here. Did anybody catch that long off of that prior 4-hour low? Good morning, Ribs. Just getting in a little late. How did your test go yesterday, boss? The test was good, stressful, and then we didn't end up passing. So we got one of the sections wrong. So unfortunately, did not pass. But we'll see for this next time. We'll have to try for the next time. Series 3 test of what? It's just called the Series 3 test. It's a futures and commodities trading test. So only one micro is testing the 3-bar reversal. Nice. How much is that worth for you? That should be, 25 handles should be worth $50. Almost $50 there for you. Shorted 355 TP on the low. Nice. Good job, Donnie. 355 all the way down there to the low. Beautiful. Damien caught that long. I believe the market maker saw yesterday to troll everyone trying to short like Friday. The more shorts that we do gather in moves like this, the more easy it is to squeeze them, especially if they're stubborn. What is the latest date to move out of the December contract? When does it close? It closes this Friday. Do remember that when it comes to futures, it expires the month that it says it expires. So in this case, if you're trading the December contract, it expires in December. If you're looking for the date, the easiest way to remember is that it's always going to be the 3rd Friday of the contract month. So like we're trading the March contract right now. Without looking up any information, I can just go to my calendar. I guess this is considered looking up information, but bear with me here. The March contract is going to expire on March 21st because that is the 3rd Friday of the month. So that's how you know. It's always going to be on the 3rd Friday there. Would you trade the Ivy hand with passing the Series 3? I don't think so. Because I could take the Series 3 again, and I don't mind taking it again. It's, obviously there's frustration surrounding that I have to take it again, but would I trade the Ivy hand? No, of course not. Quad witching Friday. Yes, correct. That is correct. Now it's only triple witching because we don't have single stock index futures or single stock. We don't have single stock futures anymore. So we don't call it quad witching anymore. It's technically triple witching. There's another little tidbit for you. Ribs, do you think that a UFO discovery announcement can impact the market? Of course, dude. Yes. If it's like, if there's something like insane, I mean, it would be pretty rare. I can't find a reality that we'd live in that would actually happen unless we were under like immediate danger. Because think about what kind of mass panic that would create in society if the US just came out and was like, hey, there's some flying stuff over our heads. We have no idea what it is. And it might be dangerous. They might be just zapping us. But anyway, back to Regis and Kelly. I don't even know what shows are on anymore. But yeah, in regards to the drone stuff, I don't think that is of alien origin, obviously. Good morning, Trader Page. But imagine, like, that's never going to happen. Like, unless we're under, like, immediate threat and, like, the world literally is about to end. Like, that would create mass panic and, like, people would go nuts. Like, law and order would cease to exist. It would just go pure pandemonium. I know they've been talking about UFOs, but I mean, like, I really honestly do not believe that what's happening in the East Coast, and I think that there's some reports on the West Coast that has anything to do with aliens. Hey, Ribs, what's your daily driver? Do you have any cool cars? Not really. I usually just take taxis around. Ribs, I've been following you for a little while. I need your advice. I'm going on my 30th FA account. What is an FA account? FA. Not sure what an FA account is. Keep blowing them up. Please give me the best advice. You need to take it slow, and I'd only focus on trading the micros, and I'd only be focusing on trading a practice account. There's no need to keep blowing money into the market. Funded account. Oh, funded account. funded account. You need to be trading in the micros. If you're getting into funded accounts and you're blowing them, you're going too fast. You need to chill out. Holy Earth, thank you so much there, buddy. Your thoughts on the people that say it's sniffing radiation, nuke being searched? I don't know enough about it, but I would assume like that seems like a very viable possibility. It would be awful if anything happened, but I believe that that's a quite viable possibility. Let's see. I missed a question here. Rips, I watched a webinar on discipline today and I have a question that maybe you can answer. I have a bad habit at giving back profits and I'm wondering how much you accept giving back before you stop. For example, I always trade 2-to-1 risk reward or better. Reward to risk rather. But if I lose my second trade, I give back half my profits and I don't know when it's worth it to keep trading good setups and risk losing it all. This is where the shot clock comes into play. So if you are, if you're using Top Step X, there's the shot clock feature now. So I would recommend that after you take a trade and it's a losing trade, lock yourself out for anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes. That will let your emotions subside. And being locked out means truly being locked out. It doesn't mean lock out one account and go start trading another account. It means like truly lock out, like lock the account out. So you're not trading. And that way you'll bring your blood pressure down, you'll bring your nerves down. And then that way you can kind of have a second look at the market with clean eyes. So you're not kind of focused on, I need to make money back. I need to make money back. So I would say starting with a shot clock is going to be your best shot to getting better. Second thing I would do is set a trade limit. Usually when I was ever trading my own money, and I finally got a hold of my tilt, it was like a 2-trade limit. If I lost 2 trades in a row, I'd stop. And the thing is that when I first started to try to do this to fix my trading, the second trade that I was taking, knowing that it was the last trade that I could take, because if I lost the trade, I'd lose and I couldn't trade for the rest of the day, I would sometimes push that second trade to the limit and I would cause myself even larger losses. So don't do that. Find a way to stop trading because you're going to feel better the next day. That's what I found, at least. You're just going to feel better the next day. Like yesterday, we made $1,200 in our live account. It was a good day. I missed the much larger trade, of course, but I wasn't frustrated. Back in my old days, I would have stared at that market and, knowing that my account was locked out, I would have been super disappointed that I missed the trade, but now I just don't care as much anymore. It's you get through it by spending a lot of time in the market and you just stop caring, really. It's not that you care less about winning and losing. It's just that you've gone through it so many times that you understand that it's not that big of a deal. It's really not that big of a deal to miss a trade, to lose a trade. It's just a function of trading. Like if I was upset every single time that I lost a poker hand, I wouldn't be able to play poker. If I was upset tremendously after every single time that I lost a trade, I wouldn't be able to trade long term. And that's where I was when I first started trading. I was tremendously upset anytime I lost a trade because I felt like a failure, not understanding that losing is a core component of trading. You have to learn how to be a good loser. So if your emotions are running hot and you're sitting there and you're saying, I need to make something back, I need to get back, all you need to do is lock yourself out, whether it's for the full day or 15 minutes. You need to have some type of mental reset. So that's what I would recommend. Is that helpful, Blake? By the way, are you Andre's cousin? Goodness. 2-hour lockout for every loss. That's a good one. 1 hour lockout for everyone. There you go. Yeah, you find what works for you. I was up 1,300, lost 300, gained 100, and then locked because I realized I was chasing the original game, came back after a 3-hour lockout, made 300 back. There you go. See, that's good. You shouldn't have this idea in your head that you should always be trading either. You should be waiting for whatever your setup is. And if you don't have a setup, start backtesting and find out what setup works the best for you and your trading style. Is it better to buy a house or rent? Well, I'm a day trader. That depends on your financial situation. If you can afford a house, buy a house. If you can only afford to rent, then rent. I mean, I don't know what your situation is, My method is a self-trailing drawdown, meaning I have $1,000 worth of losses in a day. This can happen over one trade or $1 million. It doesn't matter. If I win 3,000, I can still only lose 1,000. So that's cool. I like that. So you've imposed that's very cool. I like that a lot, as long as you can stick to it. I had also the point where I was even scared to enter the next trade. That's normal too. A lot of the emotions that make us human are counterproductive to being good traders. And that's why most people struggle with trading, is because a lot of the things that we do and experience based around the human condition is not conducive with being a good trader, unfortunately. So the emotional snap reaction we have to things usually is what gets us in trouble with trading, usually bends our psychology backwards. There's a lot of things that we do as humans that are not conducive to being strong traders. That's why you'll find that a lot of folks who are on the spectrum do very well with trading naturally. Those people who are not, they just end up being naturally good traders. We do have news coming out here in 3 minutes. 3 minutes here. 3 more minutes. Not related to Andre. Oh, goodness. Let's see here. Talking about some THC there. Dude, THC has changed over the years, hasn't it? Crazy. How to get the 4-hour open and close on the chart. This is Spaceman BTC right here. This is what it's called. It's on TradingView. It's not available on TopSupX, but it's available on TradingView. Okay, so let's see what we're seeing here for New York Fed Services business activity, no estimate. Lovely. Retail sales, this is the important one. Month over month, we're looking at 0.5%, 0.5. Retail sales ex auto, month over month, 0.4%. So 0.5% and 0.4% is what we're looking for advanced retail sales. That's going to be the biggest news of this morning. Let's see how that shakes out here. We're also getting the Canadian CPI, which we are expecting at 0.1% month over month. Year over year, 2%. Let's see how this shakes out. We're 2 minutes out from the news. 2 minutes out from the news. Do you include wicks when you analyze your higher high, higher low, lower high, and lower low for the futures? It depends. Usually it's pretty good to do that. Usually it's pretty good to have it to the wick. Now you can have a more refined strategy that doesn't include those, but I like including them myself. Roxo says, just got funded for the first time. I'm still kind of uncertain on trades I took and won anyways. Any advice on refining setups? Backtesting. Open up TradingView, do some backtesting, find out what is your highest win rate strategy, and just focus on that one for a little while. See if that works for you. Realized all my big losses come in at the open, started locking up until 10:01 a.m. Thank God. I love that, Gary. That's very smart. Excitement from winning is dangerous. Yeah, I used to have a problem with euphoria. All right, order book is cleared out here. Let's see what happens. I'll get my trading software open here just in case. I'm not expecting a whole lot, but let's see. Ten seconds, everybody. Big swath of data coming out here. Let's have a gander. Advanced retail sales coming in at 0.7%. It's a little bit hotter. I think that's seasonal. It's expected. New York Fed Services activity 5.2 versus 5.2 versus negative 0.5. Crazy. Canadian CPI coming in lower on both the month over month and year over year, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on. Yeah, wow. Lower on month over month and year over year. That's wild. Why is nobody talking on the squawks? What is going on here? There we go. That was weird. Hold on one second. It's weird all the squawks simultaneously went down there. Thought it was my internet. There we go. Okay, so Canadian CPI coming in cooler. Advanced retail sales coming in hotter. Fed services activity hotter. I don't know how that's going to move the market around. It looks like it's bullish. The market's taking this as a bullish thing coming out of the S&Ps here. Coming in stronger. See if we break above like 33 here or not. Because this could be an interesting trade if we actually start breaking above. I'm going to take that long. I'm jumping into a long here. I don't know why we got such a garbage fill, but we're going to try a long here on this break of 55 to the north side. That was a really bad fill. Let's see if we hold above 35 here. It's still a little bit spotty, but I think the market's going to enjoy this pop. So we get up and over these 60s now. I want to try to exit most of this. Let's see. Limit sell 2 up here at like 65. See if we can get this fill. All right, we got our fill there. I'm going to move my stop into the profit just in case. I like that pop, but we're coming up to the 4-hour mid. We might have a little bit of a pullback here. Holy Earth says reaction always up and to the right. Wouldn't that be nice if it was that easy every single time? Anybody still long off the lows here? We had a very late entry and a terrible fill. How did Rips do that with the stop? Just dragged it. Just a little draggy. News blew my stop loss. I'm sorry to hear that. Got shook out on that wick and actually filled back long a few seconds before you. Nice. Yeah, we had a little bit of hesitation there. Made 1K earlier on long. Nice. Yeah, I'd really like to see this thing ripping above 70. That would be super nice. That move sucked. Yeah, it was the order book got completely cleared out and then it just got a little wonky there. If we hold above 60s, there's a good chance we'll charge right through these 70s. My stop's at 60 evens, so, or 60 and a half. I guess I can move that right there, 60 and a quarter, I suppose. I really want this to stay above 60 because then we can charge right through this liquidity that's up at these 70s. That would be, and we got stopped out. We wish for a different thing, but you know, this is why we use stops. So, hey, we realized 226 bucks on the move. That's not bad, you know, less than a minute of trade, wasn't it? Let's see. See when that executed here. We're in at 31 and 29 seconds. We're out at 32 and 24 seconds. So less than a minute. Hey, that's a good hourly rate. I'll take that. What does that work out to? 226 times 60, 13,000 bucks an hour. Not a bad hourly rate. Whenever I make a small trade like that, I like to divide how much time we actually were exposed in the market and then make myself feel better by calculating my hourly. Our fill's worse on live at tops of. No, not at all. No. I mean, you saw right there. I got a bad fill because I'm using a market order. And you have to understand, after that print happens, you're having a thinner market. And if I'm choosing to use a market order, I'm leaving it up to the market where they're going to fill me. It has nothing to do with the function of it being on Top Step X. It's the same thing as if I did a market order on Trade of 8, on Ninja Trader, on Thinkorswim, Webull, who else offers IB, Interactive Brokers, you know? I think you should watch Bookmap and all level 2 data on the ES instead of NQ. Well, that's invalid because if we have divergence between the NASDAQ and the S&Ps, then I'm not going to really have much information generated by the S&Ps that guides my NASDAQ trades. Do you know what I mean? G-Dub says, time to head to work. Trade well. All good luck to you, buddy. Thank you. All right, let's see. Let's go back here. Go back to the questions that I missed out here. Oh, wow. Look at that. Add 600 to your Thank you. Thank you so much, John. That's so nice. Really appreciate that. $10 dono from John there. Appreciate you, buddy. Super nice. Okay, let's go back to these questions here. Give it up for John. What a goat this morning. The real estate market is kind of saturated until interest rate cuts come in for used homes. In most states, new homes will yield better investment opportunities. Yeah, that's kind of the... we're in a very sticky spot in the... housing market right now, for sure. Wow, look at this market here. This is not the cleanest print that you would expect to see on something like that. Even with the data, I mean, to me, it supported that this was a long, and that's why I initially got long 3 contracts. To me, it looked like it was a nice, clean long, but unfortunately, The market has different ideas. If we did pull back to say 325, just looking back at my trading view chart, if we did pull back to this area, I think this is definitely a watch for relonging the market back up to the top side. Maybe that just didn't gather enough liquidity. What I didn't see on this rejection up here was a lot of offers. The market is still generally pretty thin. Passed my first 3 combines yesterday, taking it slow and only activated 1 and saving 2 for the new year. Thanks for all the positive talk in the mornings. Thank you there, Brian. Really appreciate you. Let's see here. Passed my first 3 combines yesterday, taking it slow and only activated 1, saving 2 for the new year. Love that. Love that. Yes, I could manage my emotions. I lost 2K XFA. It was all my profits last week. You need to do yourself a favor. It's kind of like you're driving on a racetrack with no harness. You got to find a way. If you're putting yourself out there, if you're putting risk into the market and you don't have some type of daily loss limit that is going to protect your profits, you're always going to run the risk that you will lose control of your emotions, lose control of your risk management, or simply have a trade that goes against you that for some reason you don't stop out from. So what I would recommend is, as you're building up a balance in your XFA, take advantage of the daily loss limit and start enacting it. Start using it. You need to find a way to protect profits as much as you can. And by the way, the market is coming right back up. Did we miss that trade? Hold on. Oh my goodness. I needed it a little bit lower. Market's not easy right now, I'll tell you what. I am kind of glad that I'm not in this because this is still pretty thin right now. But yeah, so I would say, if you are giving back yen, if you're giving back your 2K on your XFA, you need to find a way to put in a daily loss limit that is going to prevent you from doing that next time. That's what I would say. Rips, where's the music? We are doing no music today. Maybe we'll bring it back tomorrow. Did you learn from ICT? No. THC completely messes with your natural market intuition. Wasn't until I quit is when I did way better. Yeah, I mean, trading substance free for most people is probably going to fare a lot better. Rips, what would you consider an outlier print to be on this news? So when we're talking about outliers, we're seeing something that is beyond the estimates. So let's just say advanced retail sales, the estimate was 0.5%. If we came in at something like 8% or 10%, that would be an extreme outlier. We came in an outlier print, which is why I was long on it. What was the retail sales? Let me pull up the data again. No, sorry, that wasn't it. Where were we on retail sales came in at 0.7. The estimate was 0.6. So that's not an outlier print. That's only a 10 basis point difference. So if we would have came in at like 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, something like that, that would be considerably an outlier print. So we're looking for big moves. Rips, you put Celsius in a ghost can, be honest. Today, we're back on regular old Celsius. I have so much of it. I feel like I need to drink it and stop drinking ghost. I need a sponsorship from one of these companies. Hey, can someone explain how and why whenever contract or rollover happens, it messes with the chart? You can fix that by clicking this button right here, BADG. If you click that button, watch what happens. I showed this at the top of the stream, but we'll do it again. Let me go into the 15-minute chart here. But you see this gap that we have right here, this big old gap, because this was the December contract and this is now the March contract. You click this button, boop. Now it connects all the dots. Now you don't have to worry about that anymore. So I highly recommend using that BADG button. And that was for you, Mandros. Mandros, there you go. Love the MC levels. ES drop beautifully from the level. Yeah, the new MC level should be kicking. Should be good. Let's see here. Can't get on tops of X for what? For Spaceman, I'm guessing. Wake me out. Our feels worse. We answered that. However, you spent 30 minutes waiting for the setup. Yeah, most of trading is going to be waiting. Most of trading is going to be waiting. What's up, John? How are you doing? To be honest, my goal is to gain a ton of money and then move into a 10K options account. Be careful with options, though. I will tell you that. Options can easy come, easy go. Options can really be... I would always be... based on my experience of mentoring people throughout the years and seeing how people are trading in options accounts versus like in a funded futures account, I would always err on the side of caution. I would say the only time that you should ever be trading options is to buy insurance for your open position. So if you're in a long position, you should be buying puts as insurance. If you're selling, you should be buying calls as insurance. That's the only time I'd ever use options as a function for trading. I would not be day trading options. It's very dangerous. You can get very hurt. Let's see here, going back up. NQ and ES has been on a big divergence of late as well. Yeah, and that's another reason why it's not good to just, okay, I'm going to look at the ES and expect that the NQ is going to move in the same way. They contain different components, and that's why they move differently sometimes. Have always done better with options than futures, so yeah, thinking about it after a while. Go do paper trading in options and see how you do, and take it very seriously. Like, make a paper trading account, put $10,000 in it, take it very seriously and see how you do. And if you can perform well on it for like 3 months, then I'd say it's worth switching over. But I just worry, and it's not like a shot at you. I'm not saying you specifically. I'm saying anybody in general. It's just very, very difficult, extremely difficult. Let's see here. Hey, Rips, do you normally go with market orders or does it depend on the setup? Always depends on the setup. Always, always, always. I took profit on time before it dropped. Nice yen. There you go. Morning, Rips. Hope you have a banger day, brother. Thank you, Brian. I am entering. That was a market order that I entered with, and my exit was a limit order for 2, and then I had a stop market order for the final lot. Ramon says, Rips, I have a Christmas horror story. I was up to 20K on 3 XFA accounts, FOMO into a trade on the day I was supposed to take a payout while at work, which is a huge mistake, and lost 20K in 10 minutes. There are many such cases of that. You're not alone in that, Ramon, so don't feel bad. Those are the little greed gremlins that we get. You got to avoid the greed gremlins. They're a terrible case of the greed gremlins sometimes, where it's like you're flying high, you're filled with euphoria, you feel invincible, and then you take a trade and you're like, I got so much in my account. What could possibly go wrong? And then 10 minutes later, 20 minutes later, even an hour later, whatever the case, you look down and you go, dang, I wish I would have traded. So try to avoid those greed gremlins because they'll come in the worst time, and usually it's right around when you're about to take a payout. So try to keep those greed gremlins at bay. I know exactly what you're talking about. I've been there before. It's horrible. Think we're going to wick fill that new print candle? Maybe. I mean, this is not a market I want to be putting risk on right now. It's very rinsy. Morning, Ribs. Have you ever very calmly did something that most people would call going on tilt? I don't know. It seems like a trick question. I mean, I used to go on tilt a lot. I was a very tilty person. So yeah, I don't know. Have I ever calmly done something? No, because tilt is usually you're not calm. You don't have control of your emotions if you're going on tilt. Hey, good morning there. Marcus Stalker D in the building. What's up, D? D is in the exclusive club of folks who have passed their Series 3. Trying to join that club, D. I tried yesterday. I tried my best, but unfortunately we'll have to wait until the next time around. All right, let's see. Let me see here. I got to catch up with this. Am I blocked? I repeat, can anyone see me? Yes, we can see you, Lido. Why would we be blocked? Only people who are blocked are people who say crazy things. Okay, here we go. Trader Page says, it's washy. It is indeed. Yes, you sure will. Went on tilt and lost 14K XFA 2 weeks ago. I was sick. LOL. Today is the first day back trading. Welcome back there, Nick. It's it's one of the worst feelings when you go on tilt and you do something that's not great. It's just feels awful. When I had my biggest losing day of all time, and I've never even come close to that day, but when I had my biggest losing day of all time, it literally felt like somebody had stabbed me. It was physical pain. It was the worst thing too, because it's like your mind wrestles with the idea that it's like, it's so strange because you're like clicking buttons, but then the financial damage that you're doing to yourself is so extreme. And you, like in my case, I lost a ton of money in that one single trading day. And it just feels like somebody like stabbed you in the gut. It's horrible. And I'm sure that everybody's gone through something similar. We've all had I mean, technically speaking, we've all had our largest losing day at some point, right? You have a losing day, and there is one of your losing days that is technically your largest day. So I'm sure a lot of people out there know what I'm talking about. And it's horrible when it's your own money. There's no reset button. There's no undo. First thing I kept thinking was in my mind, I was like, I want to go back and undo that trade. There is no undo button. You can't undo the trade. You have to live with it. It sucks. But yeah, it's something that I feel like you need to go through as a trader, because then you realize how bad you never want to experience that again. So you start to teach yourself to have better rules and take control over your emotions. Rips, how can you prevent going on tilt? Time and experience in the market. Setting up rules for yourself. Sticking to those rules. There has to be a way that you can be... you don't want to be bargaining with yourself. You want to set hard and fast rules that you're going to stick to and find easy to stick to. When you're setting up a rule-based system for yourself, make sure it's something that makes a lot of sense, that that you can actually stick to. Because if you're not, then you're going to be running into mega issues all of the time. Trading high can give two results. I got stoned and I got owned, or I got stoned and made some both. That is a very stoner sentence right there. Monster Ultra over here. That's the sugar-free one, right? Yeah, I like the watermelon one of those. Ribs, do you start your mornings fasted or do you have breakfast? I don't have breakfast. I eat my breakfast at like noon, 11 or noon usually. But I'm on Eastern time, so I like actually eat my breakfast at like 1 p.m. or 3 p.m. Or actually 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. So. Investor Z came from options. He says stick with futures, he or she. G-Line says, Shannon, I lost my 4x of it yesterday by hunting a dollar target and not taking what the market gave me. This is why I take half my weekly profit every week. I took $7,000 out of those accounts before I lost. I love that. I love that you took a profit. That's the most important thing, because you can never be prepared for what's going to happen, right? You never know like what's right around the bend. You could have one of the best days of your life, or you could have a very detrimental day that hacks the legs off of your account and makes it, you lose 80% of your equity or whatever the case. There used to be something that I have set up with my brokerage account. So when I was day trading my own money, there was like a limit that I would keep in my account so that I could never really hurt myself. It's kind of like when you're playing poker. You buy in with a certain amount of money, and if you lose your buy-in, like you've lost that money, you can't lose anymore unless you rebuy or unless you add on. And in the same way, I would kind of manage a brokerage account in the same way. Like I'd have X amount of dollars in that brokerage account. And then I would also set up something with the brokerage that says that if I lost, 40%, 50% in a single day, that they would stop my trading for the day. Now, I wouldn't keep, in some of the day trading accounts that I would do, I wouldn't keep a tremendous amount of money in there. And then that way I could never hurt myself. And that's also a good strategy if you're curious about ever trading your own money. On Top Step X, we don't have to worry about that, because especially like in a live account, I can set daily loss limits. So I'm never really at risk for my whole entire account. So what is the risk with selling premiums? If you don't own the underlying and the stock goes haywire, you're going to be on the hook for an unlimited amount of losses, depending on which side you're selling. So a massive risk in selling premium, especially if you don't own the underlying, because you can get assigned and that's expensive. So how much time a day do you think I need to spend on trading? I work a full-time job and have a wife and kids, so I don't really have much time. You can get by with 90 minutes or less, in my opinion. Casey says, I have 3 years experience. I just need a good 10K account and do 1% of my profile. Yeah, find a broker that will also set in risk management tools that you can utilize. And, if you're confident and that's your trading style, stick with it. Once you have enough money, when you prefer to just use that money to run your own futures account? It depends. It depends. There's definitely benefits to doing it. You get tax benefits and et cetera. But I believe that most people, there's a lot of people out there that I've seen that have done super well with trading, and then they try to rush the issue. Meaning that, let's just say they have 3 really good months in the market, and they don't realize that the reason why they had 3 really good months in the market is not simply because, obviously they're reading the market well, but maybe you're in a market cycle that is much easier than a different market cycle. Markets exist in cycles. And one of the hardest things for newer traders to understand is that, and I was guilty of this too, is that when you are sitting there and you do really, really well, the thing that you want to force is like, okay, I've figured this out now. Oh, I'm done. Like, okay, I figured out trading. Thank goodness that's all over with. Kind of like how I feel about my Series 3 right now. Like, I want to get that over with. But like trading, you're never going to get to the point where you're like, all right, figured it out, I'm all good. You're going to have to adapt your trading style to different market cycles. The market's going to evolve. Your trading style will have to evolve. You're never going to get to the point where you will say to yourself, I'm all done with trading now. I don't have to worry about ever getting better because I've reached my maximum and that's the end of it. And now I'm just going to print money from these markets. That doesn't exist. I'm sorry to say that. It doesn't exist. Instead, you will get better with trading as you spend more and more time with it. But you're never going to get to the point where you say, I'm all done. That's it. I don't have to worry about this trading thing anymore. I just press the buttons because now I know when to press them. It doesn't exist. I'm sorry to say that, and it's true, but that might disappoint a lot of people out there. It doesn't work like that, and it never will. So you will get better through time, but you're never going to get to the point where you say, I'm done, and I'm just perfect trading now. So one of the things I would recommend, this question was stoked from the idea of, shouldn't I just trade my own account? Well, I would say that after one full year of consistent profitability is when you should start to consider trading your own account. Maybe 6 months. But if you're looking at like 2 months of profitability and you're saying, I've figured this out now, I think you might be in for a rude awakening come the next few months that you start to see maybe your performance wasn't as good as it was. And this is not a shot at anybody. This is just the reality of trading. Markets change, markets evolve. Your trading style must evolve. You have to trade a market that is constantly changing because it's a living, breathing, organic organism that is fueled by the market participants. It's going to change all the time. And it's also based around, if we're trading the indices, it's based around what's going on in the world. The world changes. The world evolves. Look at the AI cycle that we are sort of in. Not a lot of people saw that coming. If you did, you should have bought NVIDIA. There's a lot of different things. You're never going to just say, I'm done with trading. It doesn't work like that. Sell options premium is less risky. It can be until you're assigned and then you're sitting with the situation. Am I bullish or bearish today? I'm neither, because I think that the market's going to do some things waiting in the wings for FOMC. I think we're going to see a lot of manipulation today. Ronnie says, morning Rips, I'm short natural gas. Good luck to you, buddy. Top of this morning there, Mr. Bugs, what's up? Options is trading with the added difficulty of time. Yeah, most people will find futures a lot easier than options. Most people. It says, good morning, Rips. I hope you have a blessed day today, my friend. Thank you so much. Do I have an elf on the shelf? I do not. My wife did decorate the casa here, and she did a very beautiful job, but we don't have any elves on the shelves here. I remember James Corey's option firm in South Florida had an option go bad and lost $400 million of clients' money, is why I stay away from them. That's a good reason to stay away. Hey, Rips, how's the cats today? They're sleepy. They are very sleepy and lovely. Happened to me last week, blew 30K, so dumb thinking I would get out of the hole in one bias. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm very sorry to hear that. That's part of it. That's really part of how it works here. Let me scroll back up here. My goodness, I'm so far behind on chat. I'm sorry. My current issue is blowing accounts instantly after payouts. I've taken 2 payouts and blown both accounts shortly after. That's okay. That's better than not taking a payout and blowing your accounts, right? That's the benefit. Lito says, I've seen Rips rage quit. I have rage quit before, but I feel like that's capping off tilt. Rage quitting is better than continuing to trade on tilt. Good morning, everyone. Still no trading for me as they've messed up my Top Step X now. What's wrong with your Top Step X there, Julius? See if I can help. What's up, Joshua Wright? Options require time. Everyone wants a deal, and it's not the deals that generally win. Be ready to spend big in the right places at the right time. The time costs money in this space. Yeah, it's very difficult. It's hard to find mispriced options where you can actually benefit. The best options days like are 0DT, SPX, where you have like an extreme range. Let's just say like we have the market. Let's just pretend this is SPX. The market goes up and up and up and up. You'd be buying puts for the SPX like down here. And then the market shifts dramatically and starts going down. And on this drop, like probably right around here is where you're selling most of your position, because you're selling on that velocity. You're selling to people who are buying that thinks it's going to go much lower. That's like the perfect options trade right there. How many days are you been trading? Let's see. Let's calculate. 30 3,796 approximately. So true. I believe the thesis is what I needed to hear because discipline in 2025 will be the best version of myself. That loss humbled me. Now I lock out myself every morning before work and get rid of the hungry eyes too. You got to get rid of the hungry eyes because that's usually what jams us up the most. Like you have a really big day. I've seen so many people go through this. They'll have like a $10,000 day and then they get the greed gremlins and they sit there on like, you're up $1,000 and you're like, well, dude, I made 10K yesterday. This is only 1/10 of that. I got to keep pushing myself. They took 2,000 out of my account balance when it's showing taking 1,000. Dashboard has correct value, but TopStep X doesn't. Yeah, try calling the phone number there. I would call the phone number. Heroes, have you ever slowly sprinted down a mountain? No. How can you prevent going on tilt? Time and experience in the market and finding rules that you can put up. Just rules. Morning, Ribs. Thanks for the stream. You'll pass soon. I'll catch you guys later. Have to get to class and teach these kids. Good luck to you, Jose. Enjoy yourself. How long ago was that loss? 2020 or 2021? So 3 or 4 years ago. When's the next WPT? I'm going to be playing on a live stream January 25th and 26th. I feel like if we break the 20s, we should break down and get some. Hey, there we go. Yeah, hit those let's get those likes up. I want to do a poll in here, so let's get those likes up nice and early here. What's the right amount of tilt we need to have? We take a short long if we have tilt in one direction over another. That's different. We're talking about tilt is like losing control and going crazy. Cashcraft Future says losing 45K in my early learning felt like somebody stabbed me too. Yeah, so you know the feeling. Horrible. Rips, when will we be able to swing trade on TopStep X? Currently, if you have a live account, you can request to swing a position overnight, and it's up to the risk management team if they're willing to support that style of trading, and if you're a good enough trader to handle risk overnight. So it's up to the risk management team. They will allow you to do that, and that's also a nice thing. You may not even have to have what the overnight margin would have to be on a regular brokerage firm. So definitely something that you can look into if you have a TopStep X live account. Then I struggled to build a buffer in my XFA, up then down, up then down. Then I think I need to back up and refocus what got me here. Yeah, just take it slow. Take it very, very slow. It's okay to be wishy-washy. You're to the point where you're like plateauing, and then, I mean, you're not losing more than you're winning. You're not winning more than you're losing. So it's a good thing. That's a good situation to be in there. Ribs, a lot of people have a hard time putting the value of money to what it says on the market. Easy gains, easy loss, greed gremlins. It's true. It's true. We make money very quickly in the market sometimes, and that kind of tricks our brain and says, hey, it's going to be like this every time now. Lost 10K on AMC calls, got broken up with, made 30% on my chemistry exam all in 1 week. That sounds like the recipe for lots and lots of tilt. Why did you not take that 22,025? We missed it. No big deal. It didn't go down as low as I wanted it to. I was looking for it to come a little bit lower. So we just ended up missing that trade. You know, wait until New Year for the next Series 3. I'm going to take it as fast as I possibly can. So I'm going to call the testing center today to see what is the soonest that I can take it. It might be 30 days. It may be I can take it this week. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's one or the other. It's either 30 days or I can take it immediately. I'm not sure how it works. Might have answered this already, but is NQ supposed to close the rollover gap at some point? No. The contracts are not connected like that, so no. And if you want to turn off that gap, you just click this button right here, B80G. That's all you have to click. Did they let you know if you passed straight away? Yeah, the moment I clicked the button, it was like within 30 seconds, they displayed my results on the screen. And I posted the results from my printout on my Twitter account. So you can see how well I did in each section or how poorly I did in some of the sections. Wait, so you drink a Celsius on an empty stomach? No, it's not an online test. It's in person. If it was online, people could cheat. It's in person. They take all of your electronic devices. You lock them up in a locker, and you go in front of a computer and take the test. So, I do drink Celsius on an empty stomach. Do you know if TopStep is going to do any type of holiday sales on combines? No. I would be pretty confident in the fact that you're not going to see very many, if any, sales on TopStep accounts anytime soon. Do you have your rules written down or is it mental? Can you share them? Let me see if I can find, let me see if I have my pre-flight checklist thing. Pre-flight. Pre-flight. Let me see here. I thought I had this. It's probably buried in some folder. I'll try to look that up for you, but that was a good one that I could probably share. But at this point, after I've been trading for as long as I have, the rules are just kind of ingrained in my brain. With options, if you don't know the ins and outs of those things like selling premiums, learn before you burn. Yeah, use a paper account for sure. How do you feel about someone having a financial advisor? I mean, I'm indifferent to it. If you find value in it, great. Most of the time, I think it's best to just invest in a basket. My basket, SPY, triple Qs, VOO, and VTI. Don't need a financial advisor, and you just sit there and don't touch it. That's it. If you have a financial advisor for your 401k, I think that's an easier route that you're not going to pay any management fees outside of the ETF fees yearly, which are automatically withdrawn. SPY, triple Qs, VTI, VOO, done. Don't even think about it. Dan says, traders lose the most when you don't realize the market is transitioning between market regimes. That is very true. Very, very true. Let's see here. The day anyone says, I've learned everything is the day they have to admit they never knew as much as they thought they did. Very well said. Very well said. Hi, I saw the story at Instagram about the Series 3 test. Only 3 questions is kind of crazy. Good work. Yeah, I know. It's frustrating as all heck to miss it by 3 dang questions. It really is. It's unfortunate. Ribs, which is better, 100K or 150K account? I only trade the 150K accounts, but your mileage may vary. Some people may find it easier to pass the 100K or the 50K. 2 p.m. and I've had to put the lights on so dark here in London at the moment. Well, do you folks in London do daylight savings or anything there, Julius? First and second failures, you must wait 30 calendar days before retaking the exam. Oh my goodness. So I literally have to take 30 days? No. So I won't be taking this thing until January 16th. Come on. Come on. Dang it. Were you able to take the test here in Vegas? I was. Yep. Testing center was very close by. Less than 30 minutes away. So it was nice. Very, very easy to get to. Holy Earth says, Rips, what do you mean there's no Holy Grail? What? Yeah. Thank you for that. Appreciate the dono. Great advice. Thank you. Trying to learn futures to start trading up again after 4 years swing trading. You know what, David? You should try trading on Top Step. And before you even start trading on, get a Combine account. They'll give you a practice account to use. Trade on that practice account to get your sea legs and then see how you're doing it. By the way, we are pushing up here. Let me erase this schmutz on my chart. Get rid of all this and let's get zoomed in here. There we go. Wow, we are pushing right. Look at this chop, though. This is not a market that I feel comfortable navigating right now. Just looks gross. I think off the open will be a much better opportunity for us. By the way, if you click that lucky like button, we get to 500 likes. We will do a poll. Let's see where we're at right now. We are at, we're at 502 likes. All right, let's do a poll. Let's do a poll right now. Clicky, clicky. All right. Will the NQ end the day above or below? Let's do 22,400. Above, below. And remember, this is for the March contract. Let's do this. NQ March 2025. There we go. Go ahead and vote away in the poll. Your votes are anonymous, so please vote with honesty. Go back up and catch up on all these questions. Very lively this morning. Let's see here. The market is kind of like Monsters, Inc. It's powered by children's screams. Oh, that's funny. Let's see here. Scrolling down. Do you have a Glock in the sock? I do own a Glock, but it's not in the sock. It's in the safe. I've never heard that before, but yes. Can you elaborate when you say lots of manipulation today? I mean that it's going to be a very uncharacteristically difficult market to read ahead of FOMC and the fact that we just rolled into a contract that has lower liquidity than the front month is now lower liquidity than the back month. Micaiah says, I lost a lot of money trying to trade options. Futures is way easier. Theta sucks. I can vibe with that for sure. Rips, what about Snoop on the Stoop? I don't know. Did he actually come out with that product? Trump in the trunk. Oh, goodness. 4 years ago, I let 580K deter in the market, and I'm hoping prop firm can get me back on my feet. New to futures, day trading through, though. Pray for me, guys. Yeah, don't ever focus on what you lost in the market before, because you'll be chasing that dragon for the rest of your days. Just let it go and leave it in the past. Blow my funded account on the first day thinking I was all that. Yeah, that's going to happen. Put in that loss limit to restrict that so you don't. Did the contracts roll over to the new quarter? Yes, we are trading on the March contracts today. NQH25, HMUZ. I love how you always sing your wife's praises. You're a good man. Hope you guys and your cats have a Merry Christmas. Thank you there, Wolfie. Appreciate that. Morning, Ribs. Good morning, Boomer Brian. I've had more issues with futures because of no theta like options. You get comfy holding futures because of the no theta. Definitely like options because the theta keeps your butt selling under an hour. You know, everybody's different. Fit in, get in where you fit in. So if you fit in well with trading options, trade options. Like that's what you should be doing. Just trade option. Brian Johnson says, I had the same issue, got a little overconfident after those payouts and start trying to size up and boom, we have to go to next. Yeah. It's just how it works. You get too overconfident. I mean, look at how I'm trading in my Top Step Live account. I haven't seen any setups that warrant me to take monster size. I took a 7 contract position yesterday when we were trading in the Discord. I made $1,200 on that. I could have made $15,000, $25,000 had I held that trade out, but I didn't. I took what I saw. I took my points, and I'm not really basing it on how much money I'm pulling from the market. I'm just trading what I see in the market, and I'm putting size on where I'm confident, and I'm releasing size where I don't have confidence. That's why I took 3 contracts in the trade that I took this morning. It wasn't an overly confident position. 3 contracts is around starting size for me. So you have to trade with what the market is giving you. Do I want to make 150 grand today? Yeah. Could I do that without giving myself a tremendous amount of risk and anxiety? Probably not. Could I make 150K? For sure. But I'm probably not going to. I'm probably not going to unless the market does some crazy, like there's some crazy news that comes out. And I would think it would have to be negative news for the market to move all that much. I really doubt there's going to be some type of positive news that could be moving the market hundreds and hundreds of points. So for me personally, yes, I'd love to be making 150 grand today. I'm probably going to end up locking out with $226 in the market. That's trading, folks. You don't know what the market is going to give you every single day, but the best thing that you can do is focus on managing your own risk. That's it. Come into the market and say, I'm going to be a really good risk manager. I'm going to be on top of myself today, and I'm going to be managing my risk very, very well. Stop going into the market with saying, I need to make $500. Because who knows if the market is going to give you the opportunities to make $500? Because if it's not giving you great opportunities and you have this idea in the back of your head saying, I need to make $500 today, you're going to start over leveraging. And then what happens if you lose? Now you're in a hole. Now you have to dig yourself out of the hole. Go into the market and saying, I'm going to be a great risk manager today. If it's a good setup, maybe you can expose yourself to more risk in the market. If it's not a good setup, don't expose yourself to any risk. Like literally, like that's how you should be facing your trading. I see often too many times where people are saying, I need to make X amount of dollars. Market doesn't give you X amount of dollars on a daily basis. That's just not how it works. I wish it did. It'd be a lot easier for us to be risk managers, but that's just simply not how it works, you know? Oh my goodness, my chat crashed. Hold on. Oh, come on, you. Hold on. I can't see what anybody's saying now. Let's see here. Load back my chat. That means I'm going to lose a lot of this chat, I think. That's unfortunate. Not going to be able to go back in chat history. There we go. Okay, we're back. Okay, there we go. Let me scroll back in chat. Let's see how far back I can go here. Okay. Yeah, so now I'm going to miss a lot of the chat. Sorry about that, folks. I'm going to miss a lot of this chat in the past here. Okay, here we go. Scrolling back up here. Ribs, just some advice for the retest. You might get a whole new set of questions on the next exam. They have a pool A lot of questions and the tests are all random. Yeah. So I know this. They have, I think it's something like 3,500 questions, and they pool those, or even like 5,500 questions. They said thousands of questions, and they randomly select 125 of those questions. So hopefully I get some easy questions. The questions that I did for the math stuff was tremendously hard. I had a lot of difficulty with that. I was surprised that I actually got 100% in a lot of the sections. I did not expect that at all. Enrique says today's FOMC. Nope. It's always going to be on Wednesday unless it's the election one that was on Thursday last time. But no, it is on Wednesday. It's tomorrow. Snoop is everywhere now, bigger than ever. Yeah, he's a good marketer, isn't he? Rips, what would you do if you lost 8,000 BTC? I would be very upset. That's awful. I mean, 8,000 BTC. Who lost that? I mean, I don't know of anybody who lost that much. Maybe somebody who had a wallet that they lost, maybe? Seems outrageous. 8,000 BTC. That seems crazy. Marcus Soccer D says, try to stay in a combine for a month tends to prepare people better for funded accounts. Time is the only judge of positive expectancy. I like that a lot. It's very true. What's your profit goal per day, Rips? I don't have one. I'm being dead serious. I don't have one. Millions. My profit goal every single day is to make millions of dollars. It doesn't happen though. I'm limited by what the market's going to give me. Some days I make a tremendous amount of money. Some days I do not. Some days I lose. Some days I win. It's just the market. You got to roll with the punches. I like the fact that I have a daily loss limit in my live account, so I can't really do myself a lot of crazy damage, you know? So profit goal is bad then. I think that if it is controlling the way that you trade, it can be bad. Obviously, having some type of profit goal in the back of your mind can be a good thing. But for the most part, if you're going into the market demanding that the market give you a certain dollar amount, I think that you're going to come up empty-handed more often than not, because you're going to try to force things into the market that may or may not be there. Wait, so you can consistently make $77.65 a day without losing a penny? I do not think so. I don't think that is true. Set the personal profit target at 2K and take yourself out of the equation. In time, your brain will learn to let it go. I like that too. That's from D. We are at 621 likes. If we get to 1,000 likes before the market opens, we'll stick around. We'll trade the open here. Ribs, could you explain what is a level 3 test? It is a commodities and futures exam. It's called the Series 3 exam there. Hey, Ribs, how do you feel about penny stocks? Most of the time, people are going to get scammed by them. I would stay away from penny stocks. Most of the time, you're going to get scammed. It takes a very trained person to understand when and where you should be trading penny stocks, especially OTCs are very dangerous. OTCs can be tremendously dangerous. What was the board that Mohammed has? Sometimes all you need is $1 billion. That seems pretty insane, right? Ribs, hook a brother up, share that level 3 data. Level 3, I guess you could call is the full depth of market. You can get access to it if you subscribe to the full depth, for sure. What is your daily routine in order to prepare your trading day? I was very strict when I was in California, very, very strict with what I was doing. And it was intense, like preparation through meditation and visualization. Since I've been in Vegas, I've been doing my meditation and visualization sessions after I've traded, which has still worked out just fine. But I've found a better routine for me, at least for just focusing on doing my chart work, writing the memo that goes out to all of the brokerage houses. Remember, if you want to have access to the morning memo for free, it doesn't include the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Russell, the Dow. It doesn't include the MC levels for those, but it includes pricing levels for the SPY, Triple Qs, Tesla, Meta, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Google. It has a lot of equities. It does come out after the market opens. It usually comes around 10 a.m. Eastern time, so about 30 minutes after the market opens. But it's available for free on Webull, E-Trade, Thinkorswim, Scottrade, Interactive Brokers. It's available on all of those platforms, so it's definitely worth checking out on all of that. But my morning routine is basically waking up, doing all of my charting, and then writing the morning memo, connecting with the group in the MC, and then coming live and hanging out with you folks. And that I've found a nice routine in doing just that. Can you trade other people's money if you pass your Series 3? You can be an introducing broker for sure, but trading other people's money, there's something that you can do with passing orders. Again, this is the regulation section that I need to study more on. So only 26.5K subs for such a great trader. I've only had my YouTube channel for about a year's time, and we are actually the fastest growing trading channel according to YouTube. At least that's what my YouTube rep told me. So I think that I'm actually proud of 26,000 subs because we've grown that together in basically about a year's time. We basically started this stream back in September of last year. So I think having 26,000 subs I'm proud of that personally. I think I am. That requires a Series 7. Yeah, that makes sense. The only thing I know is that you could be an introducing broker and then, a PA or AP, associated persons, or this is the regulation section. By the way, regulation section, they put in the back of the book. By the time you get to the back of the book, you're pretty much exhausted if you've been going through the book for the whole day. So it's probably why I miffed that section. Let's see here. BTC is rocking. Let's see what's going on with the BTC spot price. Wow. 107.5. Crazy. I still think I'm holding to my original thesis that we're going to have a blow off top towards 125 and then retracement back down to like 90. That's what I think. Only 230-ish likes to go. Yeah, let's get those likes up. Make sure you're voting in the poll as well. For the Series 3, do you need to be sponsored? You do not. You can go take it at your own will. Hey, mi amigo, I know you're with Topstep, but have you tried another firm? I did trade on Apex. I traded on Apex for about a month. I took a $20,000 payout, and then I never traded with them again. That was it. And it was great. I had no issues with it, but it wasn't in tune with my trading style at the time. So I just switched over to Topstep, and I haven't looked back since. I've only been trading on Topstep since then. I've been trading on Topstep since July of 2023. The reason the gap rules don't apply to contract roll is because the actual indices, we haven't done anything in volume in the contract gap. So I would think that we would want to return to those levels. It's a completely different thing. We're looking at a much further out month, and we're dealing with contango. So for that reason, it has nothing to do with like filling a gap. There's no gap to fill. It's just it's a future dated contract that is expanded because of contango up and to the right. Let's see. Which Spaceman BTC indicators do you recommend? Just this one. The Spaceman BTC key level. That's the only one that I use. Scott trade not around anymore. Okay, well, whatever it was. Whatever the main brokerages are. You haven't gotten the letter added to Topstep X yet. Come on, Rips. Yeah, maybe we could. I mean, that's definitely something that we could do. Series 3, you can trade principal, can't you? Again, I got to go back and look at the regulation section and go through that. 26K subs, that's 2K a month, or 100 trading per day or per trading day. That's fast growth. I thought so. I'm proud of it. I will never say that I'm not proud of it. We've only been doing the stream for just over a year's time. There's other folks out there that have been doing this for years and years and years, and they don't even come close to our numbers. So I'm very proud of our numbers, and it's all because of everybody here in this community that we've built together. It's all of you folks. It has nothing to do with me. That trailing drawdown is terrible with Apex. I mean, it's, if you can manage it, great. I have no shade to throw at any prop firms unless they were scamming people like FTT. Like that's horrible. That's horrible because people shouldn't have to go through something like that. But I have no shade to throw at any prop firm because if you found something that's working for you at a specific prop firm, lean into it and keep doing it. I've found what works for me is trading here on Topstep, and I enjoy it very much. Let's see here. Contango sounds like a cool dance, doesn't it? Yeah, it's just the calculation of how future contracts are calculated. The value of them is derived. Apex just changed the rules and they trailing the account, so you have a loss limit of 3K and your operation goes 4K and turns you into 0, you lose the account. I'll have to look into it. I haven't looked into their rules for a long time because I haven't traded on them forever. Sonny says, been here since less than 5K followers. Wow, thank you. The GOAT right there. Maswell says, my grandmother has more life in her than this price action. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. I'm glad that we haven't exposed ourselves into the market since we took that trade. And by the way, the reason why we took that trade was we were looking for a breakout of this level here, and we were looking to return to the daily open. I was leaving on a runner to get that profit right there. We only made $200, but that's because we took a scalp and then we got stopped out like right there. So, I mean, I was looking for different things on that trade. We just didn't get those things come into fruition. And that's going to happen all the time in your trades. Like, you prepare for the best. I'm sorry, you expect the best, but you prepare for the worst. And that's why you always use stops. Like, imagine if I didn't use a stop in that trade. I would have probably got scared and frustrated and probably closed out my trade down here instead of closing it in the profit up here. You ought to use stops when you're trading. I can't believe it, but there's still people out there that decide to trade without stops. I really don't understand what you folks are doing. Maybe if there's somebody in chat here who's trading without a stop, you could let me know why. What is going through your noggin? By the way, if we get 264 more likes, we'll stick around. We'll trade the open together. And we'll do some giveaways. Why not? You have personal relationships with your competitors at the poker table? Yes. I mean, I play poker with them on a daily basis. Of course I do. They're very great people, but at the end of the day, we're playing a game trying to take each other's money. So it is quite the battle. But no, we still have personal relationships. I've lost huge pots to people that I have good relationships with. And, you know, we'll talk about it the next day and say, dang, you smoked me on that pot. And that sucks. But life goes on. You don't have mortal enemies at the poker table in the sense that on a personal level, you dislike them. We'll be staying at the Four Seasons for work this week. Any good recs for running routines, 6-ish miles, and sushi that will break the bank? Sushi, I would say maybe Zuma at the Cosmo would probably be pretty good. Zuma. Trying to think what else would be good for not breaking the bank. I mean, you could do Nobu, but I think it's overrated for the ones in Vegas. They're not that great, in my personal opinion. So I would say 100%. Running routines, I mean, run the strip. Just run along the strip. You'll be fine doing that. But sushi, I mean, that's a tough one. Vegas is pretty expensive. I mean, there's not a lot of restaurants where you're going to get value pricing unless you're off strip. I would say like Kame, but like still that's going to be expensive because it's omakase and like I think it's like $500 a person. So generally it's pretty expensive. Smoked me on that pot. Nice quote to blaze on. Yeah, I thought about that as I was saying it there. If you ever need a photographer while at Miami, hit me up. I will, Lewis. Shoot me a DM there. Cosmo seems to be solid all around. I do believe in that tremendously. Cosmo is a great hotel. I like Cosmo. I like Aria. My favorite hotels here in Vegas, Wynn, obviously, number one. Wynn, Encore. They're joint together. Aria, Cosmo, Bellagio. And those are my favorites. Resorts World is interesting. I've heard the spa at Resorts World is legendary. I haven't been yet, but I've heard it's incredible. Is it important to be flat before market open, even if you see a trend prior? It depends on what your risk tolerance is. If you're willing to take a loss and you have a stop in place and your risk tolerance meets that criteria, then go for it. But you're going to have a lot of volatility because there's so much order matching that happens with an MOO order. There's a lot of people who are taking MOO orders. MOO. There's your injection of liquidity at 925 there. I trade without stops because I still struggle to take losses, and that's why I constantly blow my funded accounts. Chris, you're going to have to take stops in your trades. You're just going to have to start using stops. That's all I can say. If you're not using stops, you're going to be tremendously, you're going to be setting yourself up for failure, in my opinion, if you're not using stops. All right, we got a minute and a half more to get 200 likes. Minute and a half more. Never been to Vegas on the list, but being in the UK, it's not a cheap trip. Wait for the best time to come, like probably in like March or April, or Mexican Independence Day, I believe is in May. That's a really good time to come. Or one of the events that is here, or a concert that is here. And that's what I would say. It's a fantastic vacation spot. Vegas is a good vacation spot if you don't gamble. Never been there. I don't gamble either, right? I used to gamble quite a bit. I don't gamble anymore. And it's still a great spot, especially if you're a foodie. If you are a foodie and you enjoy very good food, there's a lot of amazing restaurants here. It's like a chef's dream to have their name restaurant here in Vegas. It's a massive spot for foodies. So if you enjoy a good restaurant, That's the spot to be. What is your favorite Cirque du Soleil show? I mean, I like the Michael Jackson show. I like the Beatles Love show, which you can't see anymore currently. I'm sure it'll come back. I do like the O show at Bellagio. That's been the longest running Vegas Cirque du Soleil show. Absinthe is, I don't think it's Cirque. I think it's a different group, but there's a lot of different shows. I mean, most of them are very good. Ka, I think it's called, is very good. O is the longest standing one, and it's a spectacle. They build a stage for these shows, and it is quite the spectacle. It's amazing. The Mexican festival over behind the Rio used to be awesome. I don't think I've ever been to that. Been to Vegas for the first time. It was great. Nice. Vegas has really good food. Yes, it does. Best in the world. I'm obviously biased, but I think it's amazing, amazing food. Did I hear they were showing Interstellar at the Sphere? That would be insane. I would go see that for sure. It's a 10-year anniversary, by the way. How old are we now? 10-year anniversary on Interstellar. I feel like that movie was, I saw it just in theaters a moment ago. Is this normal pre-market volume or today seems a bit slower? It's slower because we're in the different contract. The front month has changed. Gary says, I lived in Vegas for 15 years and loved it. Nice. Wow, we are really coming down now. All right, folks, we got to 845 likes. I appreciate everybody tuning in today. Maybe we'll hit the benchmark tomorrow. We're going to continue trading here in the Discord. And on that note, I hope everybody has a great trading day today. I appreciate everybody stopping by. Let's go ahead and end the poll really quickly here. It is showing that 44% say above, 28% say below, 26% say no clue. We're 150 likes away. Dang it, we're so close. All right, everybody. Hope you have a great trading day. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll probably have an FOMC special tomorrow. And also, we might start streaming some poker here on this channel. Might have to rename the channel, but we'll be streaming some online poker here on this channel soon. So stick around for that. Good luck, everybody. Have a great trading day, and we'll see you bright and early tomorrow. Good luck, everybody. Take care.